Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning into another episode of the Dumpster Diaries. As always, I am Justin Allen, and I'm here with Moses Wartooth. And, well, we're just going to start off by being like, holy shit, we actually won. We did it. I didn't know. I don't know. Like, it was looking a little dicey in the beginning, but Trump won the election.
And it was an easy win, too. There was nobody rebuttaling shit. Nobody was like, no one argued. They just shut up and took it.
I know, man. I was expecting there to be, like, riots.
Major backlash.
And, like, a lot of, like, let's investigate this, let's investigate
we need
that.
A recount, all this other stuff.
But he straight up knocked Harris's dick in the dirt, man. And
on every level.
Yeah.
So there was no question. All I heard about was a little minor, like some bullshit protests in Chicago. But aside from that, nobody else seems to say anything. I haven't really heard much of nothing out of the Harris campaign in general.
No, they just kind of took that on the chin, and she just came out and was just like, hey, like, we're not going to give up the fight, but there's going to be a peaceful transition of power. And also that term, a peaceful transition of power, why is that? What's the need for having to say that? You know what I mean?
Essentially, she was calling off the dogs, I guess.
I think that's what it was.
But, I mean, to be honest, I'm happy it went this way. Like, I'm happy there's no fighting, no bullshit. It's kind of just...
Not
they
yet.
accept it. Yeah, true.
Yet, you know.
January.
I still think just because how the universe is, you know, and how it works, and it's very ironic, I still would not be surprised if the left starts some bullshit on January 6th.
They might, and they might blame it on Trump and try to like get that and be like, look what he's done.
You're like, it was the GOP super PACs financing it. That's where the bricks came from, you know. But Trump won every single swing state, man. Like, I know on the last episode I made the prediction he was going to win. Like, that was like my primary thing. I was like, he's going to. I don't care what all these polls say. And that's just based on what I saw on the internet from legitimate accounts, what I saw through podcasters, and, you know, what I saw just talking to regular ass people, man. Because, you know, I know a lot of people. I talk to them and stuff. I get outside of my normal social groups and all that stuff. And I think I might have met one or two Harris supporters, like genuine, like, hey, like I support Democrats no matter what, you know, blue no matter what kind of thing. Yeah. And, but I never really met anybody that was just all in on the Harris train, dude.
I mean, you didn't go to a psych ward, so I don't know. I don't think you would have found it.
You didn't go to a mental institution or prison.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, he won every single swing state, man. And pretty early on, it was apparent. It was like, oh, he is actually going to win this.
Yeah, even straight out the gate, he started ahead.
Yeah.
Like,
I was like, holy shit. And, you know, he took Georgia, which I was really surprised because, you know, Fulton County being the main county in Georgia that is always under scrutiny because of the high population density with that, you know, that's where a lot of issues came from, like during, like, you know, his last election. You know, it was just like, hey, what was going on in Fulton County? And I was like, no, there's no way, you know. And if anybody's been, especially like Atlanta, Georgia and stuff, not so much. It's just a big city. That's all it is what I'm going with. And bigger cities are typically blue and stuff. Mm-hmm. So you're not really getting a lot of the traditional, what you would think like a conservative or a Republican would be like. You're getting more of like an inner city kind of vibe and stuff. Why those people continue to vote for those bureaucratic parasites, I don't fucking know. But, you know, I was just surprised that he took that county, especially being that county that was under such scrutiny and stuff. And then I went back and looked into it too. A lot of, you know, when he famously called and he was like, find the votes and all that, you know, trying to get him to win.
Yeah.
I was watching some stuff. I think it was on Fox. It might've been CNN, and they were talking about it. And I can't remember the exact number, but that county is like one of the top 27 counties in the country that basically decide who the next president's going to be. Right. And it was a matter of like 10,000 votes. And there was so much scrutiny with it, with like mail-in ballots and stuff. For the first time looking at it, I was like, that dude might have won Georgia. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, holy fuck. Because when it first happened, I was like, dude, whatever. Like, you're being a megalomaniac crybaby. Like, just fucking get over it. And, you know, because while I will go down the conspiracy realm, I try to take it with a grain of salt, right? But the more I was reading into that shit over the last few days, I was like, that motherfucker might have just got elected for his third term. Like, you know? Yeah.
I mean, anytime that they find however many thousands of votes it supposedly was, but the thing that just the immediate red flag, the thing that makes no sense, they said every vote was Democratic.
Yeah.
Now, statistically speaking, that's impossible. I don't care what anyone says. That's bullshit.
I watched it live. I was stationed in Germany. We watched it live. We stayed up and we saw that bullshit in Wisconsin being fucking read. And we saw the last minute 150,000 votes came in and 100% were for Biden.
Exactly. That's impossible.
I was like, that doesn't happen.
No.
Like, whoever counted those, if they were real, should go buy a fucking lottery ticket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that is such a statistical anomaly. There is no way. There's so many variables in that and the permutations of which it could spend. Fuck that. That
like,
don't
right
happen.
After that, the pyramid should have just levitated out of the ground and went to their space, like, went to their home planet.
Holy shit, Eddie Griffin was right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because he's all saying that they're energy generators and shit. Cat Williams, I think, said the same shit too when he was on basically broke the internet.
When he was doing his thing. But at the end, speaking of the podcast line deal, Vance and Trump, they went on all those big name podcasts. And at the end of the day, like Joe Rogan, like they had all the backup of all of those big name people that are normally a voice for the people.
And the funny part is they probably didn't spend shit doing it.
No, I'm sure they didn't at all.
Probably just came.
And it was probably like it was probably one of their high, like it probably paid off as far as publicity more than anything else they could have done.
Yeah, because I was watching some shit about Harris went on some major podcast and it was some shit I'd never fucking heard of, some like fucking jerk fest bullshit, and she paid, like, they just said 6 figures to get on it. And it did nothing for her fucking... It had no reach whatsoever. Like, everything... Just every piece of content created just bombed. Like,
well, no one cares what she had to say. Yeah. She has nothing to say in the first place. And if you have to pay to be on a podcast, that is all... Like, that doesn't make sense.
That's not really how
that shit...
world
Exactly.
works,
that's not how that shit goes.
Now, it's like comment. Like, for those of you listening and stuff, like, if Moses and I have a guest on, we're not paying them shit, man.
No.
Like, you know, and vice versa. If someone wants us on... We don't expect to get fucking paid. Now, it is in the podcasting world to be a common courtesy of if you get an airplane ticket, put them in a hotel, give them like per diem for a few days to buy food or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a common courtesy and stuff. That does happen. But as far as like, oh, you're going to give me $20,000 to show up and talk to you for an hour? Fuck that, man. Because here's a little bit of fucking tidbit of information. And this is going to sound like bullshit. A while back, we were talking about getting a little boozy on the show. The rapper. We really were considering, because we found out that he would basically go on any show for $25,000. But when we found out that it was $25,000, I was like, fuck that on principle. But it would be kind of dope to have a little boozy on it. I mean, we would have came to him, got a studio set up, all that shit, and done all that. But I don't know, like in people that pay to play bullshit.
But again,
podcasts, I hate it.
Yeah,
man.
and he's a like. He's an artist, a personality, if you will, versus like he's not a politician.
Yeah,
if a politician, like if a politician was paying to be on a show, then that just doesn't feel right, man.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel right for me to have to pay anyway. It's like if you're interesting enough or genuine enough or whatever it may be that has gotten you in that spotlight, and that person who has that audience in that pool wants to bring you on, that is the thing about
exactly.
You. That is the currency you have.
And
that
if I didn't have to pay for Donald Trump or Elon Musk to be on the show, like I'm not paying for your ass, whoever you are. Like you're not that interesting.
But yeah, man, Harris fucking got her dick knocked in the dirt, man. Knocked in the dirt, dude. And some people would call it, fucking the dawn of a new era. Some people would call it the, rise of the Fourth Reich. I guess it really just depends on where you're coming at from that shit. But I'm pretty optimistic about it.
I'm extremely optimistic, man. I feel he's got the dream team going. Like I'm excited to see who fills those other positions. I hope he really cleans up those 3-letter organizations we're not too big of fans of.
I wouldn't be surprised if a few of those don't exist in 4 years. And let's get fucking real.
I won't be disappointed.
I'm just gonna say it now. I know they monitor all our shit. Like, I mean, we've proven that. We pinged fucking IP addresses coming in on our shit. We know that. We know Langley, Virginia, and Dallas, Texas. There is a fucking building where our shit gets looked at pretty fucking frequently. But the thing is, man, is like it's no secret, man, that these bureaucratic, parasitic, shady, shadowy, fucking elitist cocksuckers that are nameless and faceless, and they really seem to have unchecked fucking power and don't answer to really anybody. I don't know. Like, I just think it's better if they go away.
Yeah. I mean, for the longest time, they've literally just been paid thugs for the left.
That's really what it is.
They're fucking kicking in doors on people who disagree with their other, who are their bosses, basically.
Yeah.
But they have, like you said, unchecked power. They have no repercussions for whenever they fuck up or do anything stupid, but yet they're the ones making the rules.
Yeah, it's like those 51 intelligence agents that signed the Steele dossier talking about the Russian collusion bullshit that was pushed and pandered by fucking Senator Schiff or whatever the fuck his name is. God, I can't even get his name straight. I talk shit about this guy all the fucking time. And they're pushing that fucking bullshit. And it's like the thing is, these people climb to the highest levels in our intelligence communities and they turn around and they fuck us in the ass and lie to the American people, you know? And it's like, why the fuck do they even still have a job?
Yeah.
You know? And the thing that I liked about JD Vance and Donald Trump is they're talking fucking day one, they're stripping the security clearances from those fucking cocksuckers. And they should, because those people abuse their position of fucking
they
power.
messed up.
And they fucking try to spin a narrative on the American people to maintain control. What the fuck is that? Like, fuck that. You should be worried about people like that, man. Unchecked fucking power never is good.
Like, they should be investing their time and resources into all the motherfuckers that are coming across our borders illegally, who are known felons, terrorists, rapists, and everything else under the sun.
Yeah, and we've covered this before on previous episodes. There's a million fucking journalists out there talking about it now, but it ain't the fucking Mexicans you gotta be worried about. You know what I mean? It's all the fucking goddamn motherfuckers from Africa and the Middle East and the fucking Chinese that are coming in by the goddamn busloads, and they are literally setting up fucking cells in this goddamn country. You think that's a fucking coincidence? Why the fuck are all those men coming over between the ages of like fucking 25 and 35 and they're all fucking single?
And if you think they're coming over here to join forces and be woohoo America, you're fucking wrong.
Yeah, you're fucking stupid. Because if you fucking just read a goddamn book, man, because if you look at any major goddamn civilization, I actually have a good fucking lesson about the Roman Empire here that I'll fucking bring in. If you look at any major civilization, one of the big fucking causes of the fall is fucked up immigration policies. Now, for example, like with the Romans, what really did the Romans in the ass was Christianity. Now, what was cool about them, man, is like when they conquered someone, okay, they gave them this fucking ultimatum. We can eradicate you from the face of the earth, or you can fucking basically be under us, work with us, pay taxes, you can live your life, you can keep your culture, you can keep your language, you can keep your religion, you can keep your history, but you pay our taxes, and then when we need you, you come. Mm-hmm. because the next time we come back, if we have to, you're all gone. And a lot of people did it, and it fucking worked, and that's how the Roman Empire grew to
and that's a much sweeter
massive
deal than our current Islam.
Yeah. And they were really big on religion. Like they accepted all religions. And the cool thing about the Romans, they didn't have issues with race and stuff. Like it was not even a factor in their shit. But the problem is a new religion popped up. Now, I want to go ahead and just fucking put this out there. I am a Christian, okay? So I'm not coming at it from the shitting on Christianity angle. Think about this more of just being like, what's the word I'm trying to describe? This open arms, fucking hands across America fucking policy of let anyone fucking in and not
false
be fucking
peace,
weary of some shit, right?
Yeah.
So they were cool with like all these fucking religions, and then a new religion popped up, and it was Christianity. And they were like, wait, what the fuck is this, right? And so literally just like you see with a lot of the immigration happening in America today, these people were like, okay, let's spread our words, spread our messages, aka let's populate, let's get our masses up. We can outbreed them, we can outvote them and shit. A few fucking famous people in America have fucking said that. I'm not going to list the names. You go fucking look that shit up for yourself, because you're going to be a little fucking surprised when you read who the fuck said that. Wink, wink. Dude gave a fucking speech at fucking Lincoln Monument. But anyway, and so the Christians, man, they were forming this new religion, and originally the Romans were like, we're not going to acknowledge this. This is an old thing. Like, this is just some made up shit. And the problem with Christianity for the Romans was the concept of being a good Christian is you have to suffer, right? One way or another. Like they talk about it with like fasting. They talk about it with like repenting, like all this other shit. And the problem is the more of these people they killed, the stronger they got. Because a big part of the key religion in Christianity was if you became a martyr, if you died for your beliefs, that was a fucking golden ticket straight to fucking paradise, man. So the more of these motherfuckers they killed, the stronger they fucking got, right? And it was because, now, granted, like I said, man, I do claim to be a Christian and shit, but the problem is they let someone in unchecked, and it grew into something before they knew it. They couldn't get their fucking hands on it, and the Roman Empire fucking bowed down to the fucking Catholic Church, eventually fucking collapsed the Roman Empire. Roman Empire goes on and has become the Byzantine Empire, and then eventually it faded into the fucking dust. And that is exactly what will happen to America if you let that shit go unchecked, man. They'll start speaking languages that aren't yours. They'll have cultures that aren't yours. And eventually be taught in fucking schools. And before you know it, your voice won't even fucking matter.
And the main thing is Islam. That's the whole thing. Europe has been dealing with it. Europe is ahead of us in this, is the fact that they started letting everyone in around 2015. So now Germany's having major issues with it. England is having major issues with it. And there's now towns in England that are predominantly Muslim.
And you saw that because you lived there for what, 3 years?
Yeah, 2.5 years.
And you saw that, like, entire neighborhoods where it's like, oh fuck, this isn't English. This isn't, like, I'm talking English, not just, but like, this isn't English language. This isn't English culture. This is none of this. Like, this is all Arabic. What the fuck is going on?
And it's not safe for a person who isn't of that religion to be in that neighborhood.
Because what were they doing when you were there?
Stabbing people.
And the acid in the face shit.
Yeah. Stabbing people, throwing acid, and killing people with cars.
Yeah. And then
but by the way, guns are banned because guns are bad. But still, it doesn't matter
if you fucking stabbed walking down the fucking street. If you have the
will to kill, nothing's gonna stop you. It doesn't matter if you have a gun, a knife, a car, whatever.
And it's like, for example, like when I was in Germany, man, I was there during the height of the Syrian refugee crisis. Now, I will never deny that was a humanitarian issue, and it was a fucking tragedy, and there are a lot of victims in war. 100%. I will never deny that. But the reality is you brought people from another culture and subjected them into Western Europe, Germany of all fucking places, and they don't speak the language, they don't have the same beliefs, they don't have any of this shit.
And they don't have the desire to learn, for the most part.
You expect it to all just work? Like, let's be fucking real here, man. That's not gonna jive, dude. Germany has legalized prostitution. There are literally advertisements for women half naked willing to suck your dick for $50, You think that's going to go over very well with someone who believes in Sharia law? Where you can have your fucking head cut off for fucking showing your goddamn ankles a little too high? I don't fucking think so, man. And then all these fucking liberal pussy-ass politicians who all know the truth. They just don't want to say
They're afraid to be called racist.
Exactly. And especially in Germany because of the fucking shame and all the shit that comes from the fucking World War II and the Holocaust, man. And I saw that personally there while I was there, and I get it, like, whatever. But at the same time, I guess this whole fucking rant, what it comes down to is there's no shame in protecting what is yours. You shouldn't have to fucking change on the beliefs of other people.
Exactly. You should be proud of your heritage just like everyone else is proud of their own heritage. But people are born in certain places for certain reasons. And like the war in Syria, that shit's over. So they should go back and then they can do whatever they want to because that's what they fucking grew up with. And everyone around them believes the same shit. Mm-hmm. It's like mixing cats and dogs.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It just does not work. And if you think we're full of shit, watch any TV show about any prison in America. You know what I mean? What is the first thing that fucking happens? Groups form, man.
Exactly.
Based on commonalities.
Literally based on what you can see.
Yes. What do we believe in? What do we look like? Does this person speak the way I speak and shit? Do they believe what I believe?
Because they come from the same background, so you have that in common, so you bond over that immediately.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm very optimistic about America. I am actually pro-immigration. Like, as long as it's done
legal,
the right way. These people are vetted. There are background checks. They come in. They have a work visa. They pay fucking taxes. They do everything the right way. If they're really fucking good at it, they can become fucking citizens. They can vote just like the rest of us, man. And I'm all for that because that's what America was built on. But what I'm not for is this fucking unchecked bullshit that keeps fucking happening, and then we just keep conforming to it. Like, for example, the city of New York. They had a fucking vote on whether or not illegal immigrants could vote in elections in their fucking city. Are you shitting me?
Why would any American citizen be okay with that?
And there was multiple states that had that on their fucking ballot in this last election. Why is that even a topic?
Yeah.
They are not citizens. They don't have our rights.
Can we go to any of their countries and vote? Fuck no. If they even allow voting?
Yeah. Can I go
also, speaking of that, I have a perfect fucking story. So my brother's girlfriend is Romanian, from Romania. She got a work visa to move over here for 5 months. So on her flight over here, she gets held up in customs for over 6 hours because they're questioning her. They literally go through her phone. They're asking every fucking question under the sun. What's your address? What you're going to do? Do you have a job lined up? All this shit because she does have a job lined up.
Yeah. It is Romania, an ally to the United States.
Exactly. And she has a clean record. She's never done anything wrong in her life. She worked at a bank in Romania. Like, she's an upstanding citizen, but she gets grilled. But I told him, I was like, well, I guess you could have just flew her into Mexico and had her walk across and they would have gave her some free shit.
Give her a hotel, some fucking money, all this other shit. Be like, fuck it, stay here. Your name's in a court system, but that probably won't come up for fucking 10 years.
Exactly,
you know what I mean? Like, fuck it, who gives a shit, right? Do they even fucking deport anyone anymore? Is that even actually fucking happening?
I think it will, supposedly. next year.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. I mean, I think it's possible with that shit that the cat's already out of the fucking bag.
That's my thing. Like, Trump is really big on deporting everyone, but I don't know how that's going to get done, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like, unless, I guess, once they commit a crime, but then, dude, that's such a pain in the ass.
There definitely needs to be a tier system with it. It's like, okay, first and foremost, violent offenders and drug pushers. Those have to go, right?
Yeah.
Anyone connected
Any
to criminal,
sexual stuff, get them out of here.
Any criminal organizations, any of that shit, cut fucking right off the top, man. And then you just start fucking going down further and further and further.
And then as it is, like, at that point, because apparently if there's, I don't know, I think there's that we know of, there's over 200,000 people that have crossed our borders illegally that are either in gangs or have committed a sexual crime or a violent crime that we know of. So I feel like that's an extremely small percentage. And even then, I don't really understand how we even know that that number has gotten across if they were illegal. But
the official number that I believe that I was reading was during the Biden administration. It's like the highest it's ever been. I want to say like last year it was like 7 million or some shit. That's what they were estimating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just one fucking year.
Yeah, that's one year.
One fucking year. What do you think is happening? You know what I mean? And it just, I don't know, man. And the fucked up part is like we're so far down the rabbit hole with like this illegal immigration. Because then now, okay, let's just argue this. Let's just say 90% legit fucking people, man, just want a new fucking life. They want to get out of the fucking shithole they're in, wherever they're coming from, whatever the fuck it may be, right? Then they get here, they establish themselves, right, wrong, or different, however they do it, and they're fine. For the most part, they're normal citizens, they just don't have fucking paperwork, right? And then the problem is they have kids and stuff like that, and the kids are U.S. citizens, right? And then they become so integrated into our society. Like, is it fair to rip a father from his family like that, And it's like, how do we handle that? I'm basically what I am is I'm acknowledging that this is a very sticky and difficult issue to deal with, but I think it is fair game. Anyone involved in criminal enterprises, violent offenders, or any sexual crimes should get the fuck out of here right now. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Or even if there's like a set time frame, like say if you've been here a certain amount of time and you still don't have a job, you're still not contributing to society in any way, then get your ass out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, we have enough people. We have enough Americans that don't do shit. We don't need extra people. But I think first, like day one, we need to get started building on the fucking wall because
Trump's already pledged that.
Like as soon as the wall is done, then that at least has a major hindrance to more people crossing in the first place.
Prevent future
exactly,
problems.
and then we can start handling what we already have in the
backwards.
Exactly,
start fixing this. You know, and that was one thing that he's pledged, that he will finish that wall while he's in. Mm-hmm. And I don't see a problem with it. And all this fucking bullshit rhetoric you hear from like all these fucking liberal pussies, man. They're like, it's racist, it's wrong and shit. What the fuck is so goddamn wrong about trying to protect what is yours? There is nothing wrong with that.
In my eyes, the only people that have no problem with that don't have anything.
Would be like, bitch, you lock your fucking door when you leave for work in the morning? Why? Exactly, Yeah. So who fucking knows, man? But we'll see how Trump and Vance do, man. I mean, because they got both chambers of Congress, they got the fucking Supreme Court. I'm talking Republicans in general. Yeah. And then, they obviously have the executive branch with the White House. If everyone's on board, any piece of legislation is gonna fly through that shit in a heartbeat.
And supposedly, I mean, he's already working on multiple executive orders that he's going to sign day one. So I'm excited, man.
And that is necessary, man. That is necessary course correction. You know what I mean?
Oh, I mean, Biden's stupid ass, he signed and fucked all our shit day one. So then, Trump needs to get on with like...
Because he broke like some record. He was like, and he kept saying, he's like, I'm not a dictator.
Yeah.
First of all, when someone's telling you that they're not... You might want to fucking be a little worried about that, worrisome about that shit. I'm just glad they didn't have fucking control of Congress entirely. That would have been fucking bad news, man.
So I think this time things will actually get done, and we've talked about it multiple times as well. But as far as Trump, like this is his last time. He doesn't have to worry about it next time. So this time he needs to go balls to the wall, not care so much about what other people think, and just listen to his gut.
Just go fucking ham.
Exactly, man.
How long do you think we got before they try to impeach his ass?
Oh, I'm sure probably like day 2. But I mean, it's like, I don't know, there's no, which I've also heard a little bit of stuff. They were like, basically Trump's legal troubles are over. I mean, I mean, really they are. What's going to happen at this point, which we talked about that in the past too. They were like, if he gets elected, he can just tell him to fuck off. Like,
I would just pardon myself.
Exactly.
On federal shit, I'd be like, fuck it, this shit is fucking over, dude. Like, because that's what America fucking needs.
Or just, I mean, he's going to be firing the people that were trying to come after him anyway.
You want to know straight up? Like, honestly, probably what I would do is all those fucking people, all the Hunter Biden shit, Joe Biden, all this shit, all this fucking bullshit. Because I actually do give a fuck, all right? If I was president, if I was in Trump's shoes, I'd call every motherfucker and we'd have one big brunch, right? And be like, all right, cool. Here's what's going to fucking happen. All of this goes away today. Like, fucking fresh start, clean slate for the American people in the future of this fucking country. I'm tired of fucking talking about it. Obviously, nobody's going to fucking prison. So let's stop wasting everyone's fucking time. Sign all those fucking pardons and be like, shut the fuck up and go disappear. Go live on your fucking estates. Don't fucking bother me. I'm trying to fix some of this shit.
Get out of the public eye and quit voicing your opinion on shit that doesn't matter anymore. Like, just get out of here. Yep, I would be okay with that. Just forget about it, but just shut up and get out of the public eye.
Just to fucking move on, man. You know? But I don't know.
Because really, I don't seek any, like, negative... I mean, I don't have any, like, hate towards those people. I just want them to get away. Like, I do. Well... I just want the country to be put first, man. I'm tired of all this like reality TV bullshit when it comes to politics.
Constantly putting us on the back burner, and then it's like it almost uses like a distraction. It's like, well, did you see what he said? And it's like, I don't know. Why don't we fucking talk about the fact that inflation hit like well over 10% at one fucking point? Yeah, the mishandling of that. And then he always uses bullshit Reddit. It's always fucking tied back to it was the other guy's fault. I hate that shit. Just sack up and own it, man. You cut too many checks your ass couldn't fucking cash. You inflated the fucking economy by printing that shit from the Federal Reserve that doesn't even answer to the federal fucking government. Figure that fucking shit out.
When we have no physical currency to back up what we were printing, so it's just paper bullshit.
97% of U.S. currency doesn't even physically exist.
Yeah. That's alarming.
You know what I mean? The Federal Reserve is not owned by the federal government. It was literally a banking cartel fucking signed in creation on Jekyll Island. Like, I mean, like our founding fathers, actually Andrew Jackson was one of them, like warned against a centralized bank. He was like, no, this is not good. Like this is indebting the country. Yeah. They will own the country. And that's what happened, man. Also, JP Morgan was aware of that too. And interesting enough, he actually had to bail out the United States at one point. Yeah, the president called him in and he actually cut a check because he was worth so much money. That's pretty cool. But
imagine being that guy.
I know, right? Yeah, dude, it's pretty wild if you ever look into it. But because he got really rich because he invested in electricity. Yeah, but because everyone thought it was bullshit. And then he put like a lot of money into it and was like, and he essentially financed the first power grid in the United States. I believe it was in Chicago actually, but it's pretty cool. But that's where he really made a lot of his wealth. And then he just took over banks and shit. But anyway, neither here nor there, a little history lesson for you. But I don't know, man. Sorry. I am optimistic about the future. I do think there needs, and I use this term, not how people are going to think, but there needs to be an extreme course of action as like a drastic measure for a major course correction in this country. It has to happen. That pendulum has to swing back, man.
Luckily, I feel like we've at least everything has come to a screeching halt. Yeah. So now we got to start fixing some things, which is what the left are so afraid of. They're like, I don't want to go back. You mean back to the good times?
Back to the good times where we all made money and the world was a more secure place. Yeah. And the only concern was, did he or did he not fuck a porn star? Take me back to that any fucking day, because I'd rather not be having the verge of fucking World War III break
out. Like multiple countries.
Any fucking time. Dude, you can imagine just Iran, because of the shit we covered on the last episode. They're probably just like, fuck! Like, he fucking won. He did it. God damn it.
Yeah. I know, like, Putin's already reaching out to talk. Like, Trump is going to be a busy man. He's got to solve a lot of problems.
Yeah, dude.
So, but, dude, the RFK thing, I'm so excited for him to be in charge of our healthcare shit, man.
Dude, you want to talk about a radical fucking change in this country? Let that dude fucking be in charge of that shit, man. Because that dude...
And let him do what it needs to be done.
And he's a smart motherfucker. He's a lawyer. He's a published author. He's a lawyer. Like, he is a philanthropist. He is an activist. And
he gives a shit about humans. And the world.
And the environment, like in a good way, where it's not like overbearing. Let's cripple an entire nation.
Not fake ass green energy bullshit, but like actually let's do this because it helps this.
Like, hey, maybe this actually causes fucking cancer.
Yeah. Maybe we should take fluoride out of our fucking water supply.
You know? Yeah, why are we the only Western country that fucking uses it still? Oh, because it's good for our teeth? Like, yeah, is that why we spit up fucking toothpaste? Get fucking real, dude. Why is there a fucking number for poison control on the back of fucking toothpaste anyway? If you eat more than a fucking pea size of that shit, you're supposed to call those guys? Mm-hmm. All right. But anyway, I don't know. Maybe Alex Jones was just crazy.
Maybe so.
Doubt it. But he was wrong on that one thing, you know.
Oh yeah.
got you on that.
Oh man, yeah. We can't speak of that. But
that's the only bad thing about like getting in this type of work, with like the podcasting and talking about like especially conspiracies and any kind of shit, is like even though like 99% of the time you may be speaking truth and giving just honest opinions about shit and stuff, is that so many people hate you. We even get it, but so many people fucking hate you that like you just gotta fuck up on
they'll take that one thing, one negative thing, and base your entire persona off of that one little thing you said that time.
Yeah, dude.
But that's okay, man. Those people just don't like you in the first place. You're not gonna please them. You're never gonna win them over. So fuck them.
Fuck them, right? But I am optimistic. I am actually really fucking curious though. Who comes after Trump? If he does a good job, if he actually pulls this off and does a good job and things really start turning around, the world becomes a more secure place. The economy is more fucking stable. There's more job opportunities and growth. There is a secure border. There is less fucking bullshit that's breaking out in the world, like turmoil as far as like military conflicts and shit like that.
Yeah, everything's just kind of smooth.
Yeah. What comes after him?
I don't know, man. I guess if it's too extreme, then we're going to get another Democrat, I guess.
Maybe.
But maybe. Just or maybe. We're going to realize that things can kind of smooth around and we'll get another Republican, but who knows?
I'm thinking it might be fucking over for those guys. Because if you go and look at a map.
They're just going to have to take a major step back on their fucking rhetoric.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people are going to have to not run for election again.
Yeah.
And I think it starts with the Nancy Pelosi's, the Chuck Schumers, the Adam Schiffs, like all those.
I mean, those guys can't have too many years left, right?
God damn. Like, how long
they've just been trudging around for too long.
Yeah. I'm like, why? Anyone that's ended up on the Bill Maher show should not run for office ever again, because he only has like the worst fucking people on there, man. You know, it's only like Democrats. But he had Ted Cruz on there one time, but Ted Cruz made a fool of himself. So, well, he had Ron DeSantis. Sometimes he'll try to sprinkle in some people and be like, "Oh, see, I'm not biased," but it's like it's Bill Maher. It's like, come on, dude, shut the fuck up. But I don't know, man. But is this the beginning of like patriots taking the country back?
I sure as shit hope so.
Know?
I think we're on to a good start, if nothing else.
I think so too, man. I think a lot of shit's gonna get ironed out with our military, because that shit was becoming a fucking laughing stock of the world.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of shit's gonna get corrected with that. I think a lot of people are gonna get fucking fired. Like General fucking Milley, remember that fucking dude who called all right, for those of you who don't fucking know what this douchebag did, and he should be fucking hung for treason in my goddamn opinion, is this 4-star fucking general who was on the Joint Chiefs of Staff who answered to the President of the United States, aka at the time, Donald Trump. This happened in 2001, I believe. Okay? Donald Trump starts getting at it with fucking China and all this other shit. And this is back when he's like going at it with like North Korea. Like he's checking these essentially dictators, right? He's just like, oh, fuck that. We're not to be fucked with. This is how it's going to go. We are the dominant superpower in this world. AKA, we have not only the opportunity, but we have the obligation to make sure shit runs in the best, most efficient way fucking possible.
And that doesn't mean inciting wars. That means smoothing shit over to not cause war in the first place.
And so he's checking all these motherfuckers, like all these heads of other superpowers and dictators and shit like that, right? And then General Milley, a 4-star fucking general on the Joint Chiefs of Staffs, right? He back channels and calls the Chinese government, because he got some intelligence that the Chinese were actually worried that the United States was going to start to engage in open conflict with China over all this shit. And he back channels and starts he starts talking to them, feeding them information. Like, no, this is what's going on. We're not going to go to war with you. Starts telling them all this other shit.
Letting them feel comfortable.
That's what it was. And he said that he was doing what he felt was in his realm of responsibilities to stop a conflict. No. You went behind the President of the United States fucking back, and you did the exact opposite of what the fuck he was trying to fucking do. AKA, that is fucking treason. Go fuck yourself. Why are you still walking around the free man, dude? Yeah. Look that shit up, man. It was all over the fucking news for like a fucking day, and they swept that shit under the rug, dude. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? So, I don't know, man. There's a lot of that shit going on, you know? Maybe we should bring back the death penalty.
I mean, there may
shit like that.
Hell, take him, send him, extradite him back to Texas.
You like China so fucking much? Have fucking fun. Tell Beijing I said hi. Kick his ass out of a fucking
bring
plane
back exiling people.
Yeah. Hey man, fuck it. It works. It's a good deterrence. You can't kill him.
Send him to Syria, dude. Fuck it.
Fuck it, man. You want to fucking run shit? Start here.
Yeah. You hate America so much, go fight for the Taliban, you little shitball.
Damn. So I don't know, man. I mean, I am optimistic about it. I do think there's going to be a lot of good that comes out of this. I think it's going to be painful, like ripping off a Band-Aid at first. I think markets are going to get a little shaky. These conflicts have already started in the world, like all across the world, right? Like to put those to an end, there has to be some big dick energy that comes in.
Yeah.
AKA military intervention. It's going to suck for a little while.
Because Russia's not just going to
back and fuck
just
out
cut
of
off, be like, okay, we're good now.
Yeah.
And even then, that's not going to, what has already transpired is not going to be forgotten. Yeah. So there's going to be some sort of like cleanup little period of shit going down. But I mean, something's going to happen.
I don't know, man. Maybe he eradicates Iran off the face of the earth, and the only trace of their fucking existence now lives in our museums. Could do that.
That would be okay.
Just build a Walmart supercenter right there in the fucking middle of Tehran or whatever and be like, here we go. Yeah. You motherfuckers need democracy. We turn this whole place into a goddamn glass castle.
So. Hell, give it to fucking Netanyahu, man.
You deserve this, buddy. You know? Although for the future of Israel, I do think it would be better if he was no longer their prime minister. There is too much shady shit around him. He does got some shit in his past. I'll tell you that. They need a fresh face and a new fucking.
I mean, we know where we stand on those sides, but at the same time, like
nobody's innocent in that
part. There's definitely been a multitude of questionable things that have gone on both sides, but whatever.
At this point, they don't even know why they hate each other.
Yeah.
It's like that old school cartoon Spy versus Spy.
Yes.
That's all it is. There's no context as to how they ended up there.
They were just born that way, hating each other. Like
So I don't know. But hey, man, Trump did say that he would end the fucking war in Ukraine day one.
Yeah.
Said one day, which tells me either one or two things. That's a hard bluff, or he has a piece of information that'll put that to a fucking end real quick. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious to see what he does and how it plays out,
Yeah, I mean, aside from just strangling Russia's financial shit, like keep preventing them from getting, really he needs to immediately interfere with them in Iran.
Yeah.
Basically, all of our enemies need to stop hanging out.
That's not a good.
That's.
What's that shit Joey Diaz says? He says never do business with three people, like including yourself, because two of them will team up on you.
Yes.
Some fucking truth to that shit, dude. But I don't know. I don't think anybody's gonna be fucking with us anytime soon. You'd have to be.
Stupid.
You'd have to have a fucking death wish.
I mean, if Xi Jinping and fucking Kim Jong-un all none of them messed with us back when he won the last time.
Yeah.
So, which, again, there's no doubt in my mind that if Kamala had won, China would have invaded Taiwan immediately.
Sure. I'm surprised China just hasn't destroyed Taiwan so that it's not even an argument anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's a barren piece of land. We're just going to go take it now. Like, everything's gone. Like, what the fuck? There is no people to uprise. Like, none of this shit. It just doesn't exist, So, but yeah, dude, I just bet a lot of people are fucking worried, son, I mean, I'd be, if I was one of those guys. That's for fucking sure, man.
Yeah. Although I feel like there's a lot of false fear from the American people now that Trump won. Especially with the whole abortion thing. Like, again, Trump has said every time that he's going to leave it up to the state.
Yeah.
Which is the way it should be in the first place. The government should not have that sort of control over people's bodies, federally. That is, it should be up to the state. And if you don't like it, you can move to another state that allows or has more in lines with what you believe in.
That's how the laws in this country were set up, man. The higher you go up in the government, the less fucking power they have. You know what I mean?
Should.
Don't get me wrong. Being able to control the military for up to 72 hours without approval from Congress is a powerful thing, but there are limitations to it. And it should be the lower you go down in government, those are the people that have more influence in your life and affect your day-to-day existence. You should be more concerned what happens in your city, in your county, in your state, long before you're worried about what's happening at the federal government.
Exactly. And a lot of people fall victim to that too, is worried about they don't know any of their own city officials. Not that they know any of their
it's like you can tell me who the president and the vice president are, who the candidates are running and stuff like that, but you can't tell me who, not your U.S., but your state representative is?
Yeah.
Can you even tell me the number that your district is? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How about your state senator? Fuck it. Who's your county commissioner? You don't know any of these fucking people. What about the judges who fucking swing the fucking hammer on all these court cases around you that set a precedent for other fucking cases?
Yep.
You don't know who any of these people are, but you want to bitch and complain because Orange Man bad? go fuck yourself. You're an uneducated piece of fucking shit, and you probably shouldn't even have a fucking right to vote, but thankfully for you, some fucking people wrote on a piece of hemp paper about fucking 250 years ago that you fucking could, even though there's not any fucking qualifications or any tests you have to take to fucking get the goddamn position to do that. I don't know. You know, fuck it. Maybe I'm a little angry.
I am hoping now that with the help of Elon and RFK, that marijuana will finally be legalized at a federal level. Yeah. I feel like that's in the pipeline.
I saw I think there was 4 states going up for it. I think it was North Dakota, South Dakota. I can't remember who the 2 other ones
Oh, really?
were. But I had to go back and look into it because I know we covered like the legalization of marijuana one time.
Yeah,
early
it was
episode.
quite a while ago, yeah.
But yeah, man, I think there was a few states that were voting on it too. But once again, go back to there's a few states on voting whether or not like illegals should have the right to vote in their elections in their state, you know? And I'm just like, God damn it, dude, are we really fucking doing this right now? Are you? Much more obvious does a fucking sellout have to be, man?
If you're voting for that, then in my eyes, you're on the same page as letting dead people vote.
Yeah,
like it doesn't matter. Just make up the numbers. Just nobody even bother to fucking vote.
Why not? Right?
Yeah.
Because why not? Like, here you go. So I don't know, man. You know, I think there's gonna be a lot of fucking changes, and I think it's gonna be for the better, dude. And then I think it's going to go pretty fucking far right. I think it's going to get to the point where even I don't feel fucking comfortable, where I'm like, hey, pull this shit back a little bit. And then I think somebody else will come and dial it back. And then we'll get back closer to the center where we need to be, man.
Yeah. If we can just somehow manage to keep that separation of church and state, I think would be okay. But I don't see that coming. That's normally my main beef with the Republican Party is that separation. But I mean, there's a time. Yeah, there's a time and place for everything. But the government is not it, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I don't know, but the churches do have a lot of influence in that shit.
They damn sure do.
Yeah. If anybody thinks we're full of shit, just Google the presidential prayer breakfast. That'll open your fucking eyes. Or watch a documentary on Netflix called The Family. That's even more disturbing. Did you ever see that shit? Didn't. Whoo, buddy, this is fucking insane, dude. It is literally, it's a religious fraternity, okay? And what it is they recruit only men, and they're young guys. And essentially, it's
predominantly white.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's about as waspy Anglo-Saxon as you can fucking get in that house, dude. And so all these young men are like basically just groomed to serve politicians. Like they don't get paid for it. All right. And like the whole concept is they have them like brainwashed with Christianity at like on a deep level, where essentially anyone who has made it into office, that is God's will, and we need to support God's will. So these like young men become like these basically quasi-slave servants to politicians. These are the same guys who run the presidential prayer breakfast. The guy who ran all that shit, dude, it's crazy. He is in so many photographs with like every U.S. president. Like he's right there, man, right there, influencing shit and stuff. And then they network and they promote stuff, and they have a lot of like influence on the voter basis and stuff like that too. So that's where the politicians are really getting in on that shit and stuff. But it's a real culture thing. It's called The Family. It's on Netflix. It's pretty scary actually when you look at it. But any extreme in one extreme or another can be too much.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you gotta
that's right.
dial that back. You know? Because while there is a lot of things I like about the Republicans and stuff, I do believe in the freedom of choice when it comes to the autonomy of your own body in whatever aspect that may be.
Exactly.
You know, and then also like cannabis is another one. Like, why don't we just go ahead and legalize that and stop fucking criminal organizations from getting all that fucking money?
Yeah.
You know,
stop locking up non-violent people for years on end for no reason.
Yeah, you know. So, but who fucking knows, man? We'll see what the fuck happens. I'm curious. Trump did make the comment that he was going to be dictator for one day.
Yeah, I heard that.
So,
I hope it's day one.
He said it's going to be day one.
Okay. I mean, that
he literally said it would be day one.
He's just going to be blasting off all those executive orders, man. Like,
boom, boom,
exactly.
boom, boom, boom. That's going to take everything that Harris and Biden accomplished in 4 years and just shove it up their ass and down their throats.
That's what Biden did to him.
That's what he tried. Yeah, you know? And so, I don't know. That's like...
fair is fair.
It's almost like, I bet he would get so petty to the point to where he just tries to erase Biden's legacy, which is kind of gangster, in my opinion, you know? So, who fucking knows? And if anyone wants to bitch and can fucking complain about all this shit and stuff, like... here's the fucking reality, dude, is our parties, like, there's so many qualified people in this country. There's so many doctors, right? There's so many fucking lawyers. There's people that are really good, who aren't career politicians or who are very fucking intelligent, who could do this job to the perfect fucking T. But for whatever goddamn reason, we don't ever put those people up.
Because they don't want it most of the time.
I think they're just too smart to be like, fuck that. I'm going to make, what, $475,000 a year for like, 4 fucking years to basically ruin my life?
Yeah, to have the most stressful time of my entire fucking existence. That. Like,
yeah, I would pass it up. I'd be like, nah. I'd want to do it for like a week. But,
yeah. Press for a day.
You know? And then you just never have any privacy ever again.
Dude, imagine if the presidency was based on a lottery and whoever won it got to be president for one day. It would just turn into total chaos.
It's like the fucking Hunger Games or
yeah.
Shit. What if Trump is just like, okay, like he tries to enact like an actual purge. He's just like, for 24 hours, all emergency services have been suspended. Everything is legal.
Anything goes, murder. People. This is what you voted for. This is what you wanted.
If you say otherwise, I got 312 electoral fucking votes that say different, whatever the fuck, So I don't know, but now I will get petty on what I'm about to say. The fact that Trump has won does bring me some joy because the liberals crying about it, man. And like I saw Harris when she was going to give her speech, right? Because she kind of did like a little pussy thing, right? Because normally these politicians come out the night of, like once because it usually gets called like the night of.
Yeah.
And one concedes to the other. They both give their own little speeches, and then at the last minute she was like, "I'm not giving a speech" or whatever, and they were like, "Harris is not speaking. She'll speak tomorrow afternoon and shit." And I'd probably fucking.
I think didn't she just call him on the phone? I think she just called him. Yeah.
And but dude, the crowd of people crying. And it was just literally like, all it was just hardcore liberal feminist, like women, and then like beta cuck dudes that are there just because they're trying to get laid. But they were all just crying, and it was just so fucking funny to actually see.
They need to cry over Iowa's farmland to bring back our corn crops. Liberal tears fed this family tonight.
Yeah, but it's like crazy because when you look at those rallies and stuff like that, like there's a fucking polar opposite difference.
Oh,
people, yeah. Like if you go to like a GOP rally of any sort and stuff, they're usually all pretty well put together. A lot of, very polite, whatever, like for the most part and stuff. Yeah, I will say it gets a little crazy with the presidential shit, wearing hats, whatever goofy shit you got to do or whatnot. But then when you go to like any of the liberal shit, it's just like, what the fuck is this, man? Like it's a whole goddamn circus in that place.
Yeah, man. It is entertaining. I mean, you can literally look at someone for the most part and know which way they're leaning.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
It is weird.
But I don't know, man. I know some old school liberals though, man. That like got it right.
Yeah, back before it changed.
Yeah, it's like we were talking about, like the old school gays are cool, man. Like I got friends that were gay in the 80s, and it's like that's a different type of gay than what you see today, man.
Yeah, they're they act like regular. I mean, they act human.
They're normal,
they're nice.
Fucking
they're not.
And they're not
fucking idiots.
Yeah. And then today it's just like everyone. I don't know what it is, man. Because you also see this.
But being gay wasn't their entire existence. They didn't base their personality over just being gay.
And that's like what people do today. Like they find something, and it's like it's almost like it's become. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to put my finger on it, but we all know what what we're talking about. We all know it because we see it all the time. It's some sort of identity to go by, and then. Like, it's just like, I am this, I am that. And then it's like an attention thing. And then like, falling into like, oh, I'm a victim. I'm being persecuted because of this thing that was just fucking made up overnight. I don't know what the fuck that is. Social media has obviously made that fucking worse.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking like, if you wanted to actually have a voice and have influence and stuff like that, then you know what you need to fucking do? You need to go into a fucking industry, okay? You need to learn something that you have an affinity for or whatever it may be, something, a genuine interest, and be like, I'm going to be the best at this. And I'm going to make some serious fucking wakes, and I'm going to make them so fucking big that everyone else has a surfing them behind me, dude. And then it's like, once you have that fucking voice, once you have that fucking power and that fucking control, then you can have your fucking voice because you fucking earned it. And then you can actually steer a fucking ship in a direction, which is what Elon Musk has done, which is why they hate that motherfucker so fucking much.
Yeah. Because hell, even he was liberal at a time, but then it got too much.
Got too much. Got too crazy. I think the Twitter files fucking proved a lot of shit he thought was going on for a while, man.
I mean, at some point, if you're a smart person and you're just having to deal with insanity, you're going to find the logic in something. And if that's going to have change your beliefs, then so be it.
Yeah. And I think he's such a logical person that like he would actually change his beliefs based on
100%. Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what happened. I think he got to peek behind the curtain, and who knows what else he fucking saw. That was just a Twitter file. Who knows what fucking meetings he's been privy to in the past? All this shit, you know? I mean, the richest man that we can prove on paper in the world runs some major corporations, holds serious defense contracts and shit like that, and is stretched across every major country in the fucking world. You think that motherfucker doesn't know some dirty shit that's really happening? So shit he won't even fucking say behind the camera. And so I think he got to peek behind the curtain a little bit, and he was like, okay, yeah, we need to change this right now. Because they proved the FBI was dirty as fuck. And you can't trust them. And that's just not fucking good, man. Because once that fucking little thread starts to fucking come off that fucking sweater, the whole fucking thing comes undone.
Like, we've known the CIA can't be trusted for quite some time now. But then when you got the FBI, like, you used to, as a young man, I thought the FBI could be trusted.
yeah. You know? Because it was always reassuring that, like, no matter what, they're completely independent.
It really was. Yeah, I was like, okay, they only care about right and wrong. Like, they don't care about other stuff.
Is it legal or illegal?
Exactly.
Let's investigate it. Let's find the facts.
That is no longer
the case. Prosecute accordingly.
Yep.
You know, and you know it's clearly not the case. It's clearly
sold to the highest bidder.
Opinion and sold to the highest. Is bought and paid for and sold to the fucking highest bidder, man.
Yep.
And that is what America is becoming, man. And if we don't fucking stop this shit by getting the right people and good people in fucking positions of authority, that shit will never end, and it will get worse and worse and worse. And all those motherfuckers doing that shit, they'll make out like fat cats all the way to the fucking bank, and we'll be left in the fucking dust holding our dicks.
Because corruption is everywhere, but there just needs to be. We need to tone that down a little bit.
Bring that down.
We're never gonna eradicate corruption and negativity and bad shit in general. But if we can just kind of put the brakes on a little bit.
I would even go as far to argue that some aspects of corruption are actually necessary for society to function.
I would agree to that for sure.
You know,
I mean, the old saying, "Nice guys finish last." Yeah. I mean, it's sometimes you got to do stuff that isn't morally right. I mean, you can't always do the right thing and expect the best. Sometimes you got to do something bad for the good of the people in general. So.
Well, like the Romans, to bring it back to those guys real quick, corruption was legal. Like during the Roman Senate, and we're talking about the Senate here, or Republic. Sorry, the Republic. It was 100% legal. You could bribe a senator because they felt that if something was worth enough, like all the events that led to that moment of like this person had this influence, got this money, put it towards this to bribe this other person. This is what needs to happen. That essentially it worked out in a way where that had to happen for their society. You know, it may be wrong or immoral, but all the events took place for that to occur.
And eventually, later on down the line, it would be looked at as, okay, this was a positive thing. Yeah. It may have been gotten by ill means or whatever the case may be, but at the end of the day, it was better. Yeah.
And then it eventually... But that's a fine line with that shit because
a lot of times people can justify bullshit when there's no reason to.
And that's when Julius Caesar came in and just fucking dick slapped them all and then fucking was like, nah, I'm taking this shit over. And then eventually became the Roman Empire after he died. But yeah, man. So who fucking knows? Who knows what the future holds, man? But as always, man, I'm very optimistic because I'm optimistic about the American people and about democracy in itself. And I think no matter what the fuck comes our way, we can handle it, and we will. We always come out of it.
But now we have the ability to exercise that right.
Yeah,
I feel so.
You know, now don't get me wrong. I am fucking worried about a lot of shit. I think especially, basically our generation, you know, millennials and below, all the way going down Generation Z. I think it's not looking too good, man. When 73% of the population isn't even eligible to serve in your military service, That's not fucking good, you know? And you talk about education, just testing scores being fucking dog shit. You got
No Child Left Behind.
Yeah, you got kids graduating high school that can't even fucking read.
Yeah.
Like, are you shitting me? You know? And then not to mention, like, now we seem like we've become a fucking society. Like, just talking about these generations I just listed, we've become a society that has no morals, no values, no fucking principles. What fucking hope can there be? But I will argue that there is hope, man. There is. And I think in the end, a few good men will rise to the fucking occasion and they will steer that ship, man. And I think that's what we're starting to see right now.
Yeah.
You know?
We just can't let the small, insignificant people have the loudest voice, which is what has been happening for too long.
And that's why you should subscribe to our Patreon, ladies and gentlemen.
For just $1 a month.
Just go ahead and throw that in there real quick. You know? Don't forget to like and share. But so yeah, you know, but I am optimistic, you know, because I mean, yeah, you know, I mean, maybe, but I do also feel that there's going to be something that brings us all together.
I mean, if nothing else, we can say that this has bought us some more time.
This has bought us at least another 4 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think something's going to happen. It's going to bring us all together, you know? I mean, look at any major war or conflict we've had. You know, at least initially, everyone was like, yeah.
I mean, the perfect example is 9/11.
Yeah.
Never before, that was the most patriotic time in my life.
We need another 9/11. But no, I mean, like, for real. I mean, I'm not saying we need another 9/11, no. But the few years after that, man, dude, talk about how
never
safe
saw
and
so many American flags, man.
American flags ever. Everyone was nice and friendly. Like, no one was starting shit.
Because it was like we were in this together.
Yeah, we were like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. I had problems with you in the past. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
We're good.
Fuck Al-Qaeda.
Fuck Al-Qaeda. We're going to kill these motherfuckers, you know? So I don't know. Maybe a common enemy comes around, you know? I just wish we could focus that on things that are real. Like, what if that commonality becomes the responsible management of our fucking currency? What if it's like, hey, don't rack up any more debt. If you start pitching around ideas like Kamala Harris's $1.7 trillion spending package that she wanted to fucking present in her first fucking year, no. You get the fuck out of here. Work with what you have. Pay down what you owe. Don't fuck around with this anymore. This is the livelihood of America. You bankrupt this country, watch what the fucking world becomes, because you ain't gonna fucking like it. Because what happens in a bankruptcy case? Assets get sold. And it's whoever's got money. And trust me, when you start fucking looking at it, countries like Russia, they have positive fucking growth.
Yeah.
It ain't much, but it's fucking positive. We're negative. We're spending
that's more than we can say for ourselves.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're in debt, what, $35 fucking trillion?
Yeah. And counting, to say the least. That shit spins so fast you can't even see it.
I think last year, oh man, it was last year or the year before, Russia was positive $238 billion.
Damn.
We went down. They went up.
Yeah.
You know? Put that on a fucking long enough timeline and see how the fuck that turns out. So, I don't know. You know, maybe, but then you're dealing with like a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. America's got a lot of dumb fucking people in it.
Oh,
like, you know what I mean?
sure.
So you're trying to have these conversations with people that
again
can't even read.
Can't read. Yeah,
You know?
there we go.
So,
this is what we're working with.
yeah, you know. So then it's like, how do you do that? You know. So I don't know. It's easier to find a boogeyman in a cave, I guess.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So I don't know. Don't be surprised if we're giving democracy to some shitfuck country.
I mean, we just need to stop fighting amongst ourselves and just blame that anger to other countries.
Yeah, that's key. We got to direct it outwards and not focus on the internal
Again,
issues.
if everyone would just worry about who's beside you instead of who lives 6,000 miles away, we'd be a lot better off.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I bet a lot of those countries are getting real fucking worried about their finances right now because they know that.
Yeah, they know the fucking money. The money wagon got cut off, man.
And I can't fucking wait, man.
Dude, I hope not another dollar goes anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sick of that shit, man.
Yeah, you know. But as always, man, I'm optimistic. I think it's all gonna be okay.
Thanks
man.
for looking up.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in for another episode. Remember, just hang in there.